You're listening to Leadership Loading, a podcast that inspires leaders to be continuous learners and provides insight for those making the leap from the front line to the boardroom. My name is Jason McLaren, and I'm an Air Force firefighter veteran and safety expert turned entrepreneur and nonprofit director. I'm sitting down with industry leaders to talk about their leadership traits and lessons they have learned that can make an impact on future leaders. Hey everyone, it's Jason McLaren, and today we're not going to have a guest since we're switching to the Monday posting format, but I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss a week of the Leadership Loading podcast. So this week I'm talking about influence, and I was in a meeting with a group of individuals I was consulting with, and I was advising them on some things I was seeing, some patterns I saw in their organization. And this group of people they were all C-level or senior director level individuals at their organization. And this organization has different franchises throughout the area. So these people go to these different franchises and kind of lead there. As I was talking to these leaders, I mentioned this issue, and one of them said, well, that person doesn't report to me, or those people don't report to me at that franchise. And I said, well, before I get into that, what I told them, I'll talk about a post I did on LinkedIn back in 2016, January 20th, 2016. It was after I watched Saving Private Ryan for the dozenth time that I've watched that movie, and I just heard this part where Tom Hanks' character says, "Earn this," to one of the other soldiers. And, I said that's a great two-word phrase on how leadership should be developed, and it's not developed, it's earned. And that's how these people in this organization need to look at their leadership. But I'll read what I wrote on the article here. It said, "Earn this. It's too often that we think leadership should be thrust upon us for no real effort, and many times it is just that, and we all suffer the consequences of people who ascend to the ranks due to good PR. Leaders must earn it every day, and leaders must continually pay forward the gifts and strengths and character and judgment, and they must build and support the followership at all times." Now, while that doesn't directly relate to the issue that we were having in this meeting, it does bode to the fact that these leaders, they are over a department or a franchise, and when I asked them to go back and report these issues we were seeing, they said that, well, the person that is over that doesn't report to me, or doesn't report to us. And that's not leadership. Nowadays, leadership is influence, and leadership is being influential to those in your organization that are not under your command. And even those of us come from the military, we need to understand that everybody in the military has a chain of command. But once you get out, you might not have a chain of command. There's going to be an organizational structure, but you may not be directly over in a supervisory role of the people you're in charge of, or the people that you have to influence. Once I got out of the military, several of my positions, once I got into the manager and director level, I was not directly supervising anyone. My role was to influence other leaders throughout the organization. And I could probably do a whole episode on each element of influence, so I won't do that today. But, as leaders, you have to learn to influence others. And it's not the whole How to Win Friends and Influence People book and all that. But you have to work on those skills that will allow you to effectively manage people that are the same level as you, the same rank as you or title as you, and sometimes even the one above and one below you. Sometimes you have to talk to a leader that technically outranks you or has a higher title than you and influence them on an issue. My job is even more of a influential, being that I focus on safety and emergency preparedness and that sort of thing. There's times when I tell someone I can't look the other way on this. This is a safety issue, and it's against my beliefs and your organizational culture. And so I'm fortunate to have that extra tool in my pocket. But like I said, before I've been doing what I'm doing now, I was able to go and research things and influence people through other ways. And like I said, I'll probably bring a guest on just to talk about that. With that, we'll get into the rest of this. So this was a Monday episode. These will start posting Mondays now. I did not have a guest today because I was not feeling very well and had to cancel several interviews because I was losing my voice. But we'll start next week with interviews again, and then we'll have these little offshoots where it's just me talking, and hopefully that doesn't bother you. Well, that's all for this episode. Once again, you can follow us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links are on our website at leadershiploading.com, and our hotline number is on there also. You can text us or leave a voicemail at 214-856-0498, 214-856-0498, and we'll get your questions answered.
Thanks for listening to the Leadership Loading Podcast. You can support this podcast on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/leadershiploading to get access to exclusive content, chats, and a whole lot more. Again, that's patreon.com/leadershiploading, or visit our website, leadershiploading.com, for more options.